A drop of water lands on an eyelid. The child does not move. He is pressed against the back wall of a shallow cave, knees pulled to his chest, watching the entrance vanish behind a curtain of rain. Outside, the fire is gone. The path is gone. The smell of smoke has been replaced by wet stone, animal breath, and cold earth. Most people imagine ancient storms as background weather. That is not what they were. For most of human history, a storm was not scenery. It was an invasion. It entered the body through the skin, through the lungs, through the shaking hands trying to protect a small flame that meant heat, food, safety, and memory. Modern humans hear thunder and look through glass. Ancient humans heard thunder and recalculated existence. Because rain did not simply fall, it erased the world. Tracks disappeared beneath mud. The scent of animals broke apart in the air. Dry wood became useless. Rivers changed shape. Caves flooded without warning. A familiar valley could become a trap in a single afternoon. Most people think survival meant fighting predators. But a storm could do something more frightening. It could make knowledge temporary. A hunter who knew every footprint, every hollow, every safe crossing, suddenly stood inside a landscape that no longer obeyed yesterday's rules. The brain had to become a weather instrument before it became anything like a scientific mind. The research suggests early humans were not passive victims of climate. They were observers. They watched the direction of birds, the smell before rain, the silence before wind, the way insects vanished before the sky changed. Long before calendars, temples, or written language, human beings were reading warnings written into the behavior of the living world. And still, sometimes, the sky gave no warning. Then they waited. Inside shelters made of stone, branches, skins, and memory, they stayed close together. Not because it was comforting, but because warmth was shared architecture. Bodies became walls. Breath became evidence that the group had not yet disappeared. In those hours, something strange may have happened. The storm forced stillness. A species built to move, search, hunt, and flee was suddenly trapped in darkness, listening. Thunder rolled across the land like a creature too large to see. Children learned silence. Adults measured danger without speaking. And perhaps this is where part of the human mind deepened. Not in victory, in waiting. Storms may have taught our ancestors that survival was not always action. Sometimes survival was restraint. To not leave the cave. To not waste the flame. To not panic when the world outside became unreadable. Most people think civilization began when humans learned to control nature. But the older truth is colder. Human intelligence may have grown first from discovering how little control we had. A storm reduced the human being to something small, listening beneath a violent sky. Yet inside that smallness, patterns were noticed. Seasons were remembered. Shelters improved. Fire was protected. Stories were shaped around thunder, darkness, and the terrifying personality of the sky. The storm became more than weather. It became teacher. It taught fear with precision. It taught planning without mercy. It taught the value of dry ground, shared heat, stored food, and trust. It taught that the future could arrive suddenly, from above, without negotiation. And that lesson never left us. Even now, sealed inside cities, surrounded by forecasts, satellites, roofs, glass, and electricity, something ancient still wakes when thunder moves over the horizon. For a second, the modern world feels thin. The room becomes a cave again. The window becomes the edge of the known world. And somewhere beneath language, beneath comfort, beneath everything we built to prove we were safe, the oldest part of us still listens to the rain, waiting to learn whether the sky has decided to let us remain.